rights. When do we want them?
Now.
I'm a student and I do things with Student Action for Refugees because I think people have a right to come here if they're in trouble, and it's a basic human right, and it's a disgrace that we should not give them a basic level of support and treat them with some sort of level of dignity if they do come here. And I think the government's trying to take that away, and I don't think that it's going to deter people from coming. I don't think people know what they're going to face when they come here. They just come here out of desperation. I think people have to resort to sort of crime and prostitution and things like that, and begging, which is going to make refugees more unpopular.
I mean, do you think that's a deliberate move, or is it just incidental to what's going to happen?
I'm quite cynical. I think it probably is partly deliberate. Yeah, you can't avoid, when you think about creating a policy like this, you can't avoid thinking about that these repercussions are going to happen. So
I think what it's likely to do is leave a lot of people absolutely destitute with no support at all, because it will mean that anybody who applies for asylum after they've got into the country, rather than applying at a port, will be liable to get no support unless they can convince the Home Office that there's a good reason why they've applied late.
More than the 11 and 12 years they put in the economy sanction on Iraqi people. They want to start in a war against the Iraqi people. They killing children because of the economy sanction, and today they want to start a war. And the other hand, they don't want to accept the Iraqi people. The people they fled in that country. This is why today we are here against that bloody policy for the British government against asylum seekers.
To secure markets and resources, we try and increase the dominance and control of corporate sector, but we are simply ignoring the human aspect of that it affects people, it brings poverty, dispossession and deprivation. And when these people flee and arrive to our shores, we treat them as inhuman.
My name is Raza Muradi. I am an asylum seeker from Iran. People have witnessed hanging in the street, have witnessed stoning people to death, have been tortured, have been put in prison, many of them, and they expect them to come here and with very free mind write a case in English and present to the Home Office. You must find a solicitor, you must prepare your case in English in 10 days. I mean, this is impossible. How can you? For example, let me tell you, in one case, a woman said that he was put in prison, tortured and raped. There was marks on her body of torture. And this is the refusal letter of Home Office saying that, well, you don't have a proof to be raped. We don't accept. We think that you lied. You were not raped. And about the torture, they say, this is what the Home Office say. Well, we are sorry that you were tortured, but your life was not in danger. If your life was in danger, they would have executed you. Last year in Iran, 400 people were executed. More than 30 people were stoned to death in public. This is just outrageous. It is barbaric. And when we come here, Western governments tell us, well, you shouldn't have said anything against your government. You should have respected law of your land. So you are not persecuted, you are prosecuted. And they keep deporting asylum seekers, and they would be executed, they're put in prison or tortured. I mean, everybody knows the situation of prisoners, especially political prisoners in Iran. I really appreciate people standing up for asylum rights. Asylum rights is human rights, is human rights, is human rights, human rights, human rights.